I remember that, I didn't receive a formal education. I was educated in the Montevideo Cafe, in the cafes of Montevideo. There, I received my first lessons in the art of telling stories, storytelling. Role-playing isn't storytelling. If the dungeon master is directing it, it's not a game. Storytelling is important, part of human continuity. Storytelling is about patience, about making sense of the moments of pathos and beauty that you find, and about carrying these moments back into your own life. Visual storytelling of one kind or another has been around since cavemen were drawing on the walls. I mean, there are some amazing storytelling being done on the small screen right now. That's what's so cool about being in television right now. Studios, networks are starting to throw more resources, better writers, more production values, and to be part of that is awesome. The fact of storytelling hints at a fundamental human unease, hints at human imperfection. Where there is perfection there is no story to tell. At one point it occurred to me that the title could make a more significant contribution to the storytelling process. It could act as a prologue. Storytelling reveals meaning without committing the error of defining it. Storytelling isn't an Escher staircase. When you think about it, media is the intersection of content and technology. It's all about storytelling, like photography and the camera. The original and very basic Law & Order series has always seemed to me to be 100% exposition, with no filler, no pesky nuances and almost no background about the series' continuing characters, just the hard nuts and bolts of pure storytelling. It's populated by people who, by and large, have terrific communication skills. Every day is an extraordinary day. For me, it was just a great area for storytelling. A modern-day Dickens with a popular voice and a genius for storytelling in any genre. Stephen King has written many wonderful books. I think that if you have a knack for storytelling, and you work really hard at it, you'll have a chance to tap into something deep. But the fact remains that good sentences are hard won. Any writer worth a lick knows constructing a sentence, a paragraph, or a chapter is hard work. Storytelling is the essential human activity. The harder the situation, the more essential it is. Part of the power of all storytelling is reassurance, offering hope to those sat in the darkness, that good can succeed and wrongdoing fail. You've got to trust your instincts, your judgment, and trust the storytelling that came before and the quality of the acting with the emotion. As long as we are engaged in storytelling that moves the culture forward, it doesn't matter what format it is. I hate dream sequences in movies and TV shows generally for their heavy-handed symbolism and storytelling tediousness. We have that storytelling history in country and bluegrass and old-time and folk music, blues, all those things that combine to make up the genre. It was probably storytelling before it was songwriting, as far as country music is concerned. It's fun to be a part of that and tip the hat to that, and keep that tradition alive. I grew up in Sierra Leone, in a small village where as a boy my imagination was sparked by the oral tradition of storytelling. At a very young age I learned the importance of telling stories. I saw that stories are the most potent way of seeing anything we encounter in our lives, and how we can deal with living. Humanity's legacy of stories and storytelling is the most precious we have. All wisdom is in our stories and songs. A story is how we construct our experiences. At the very simplest, it can be, she was born, lived, died. Probably that is the template of our stories, a beginning, middle, and end. This structure is in our minds. What I realized is that it doesn't matter how big or small your film is. The actual filmmaking process, the actual storytelling, it's still the same thing. It's still all about creating characters that you like and creating moments that get you excited or get you tense. I praise CBS for taking a risk, which is always the price you pay for opportunity. This is not standard movie of the week storytelling. I think movies of the week have fallen into a niche and that isn't my niche. Orphan Black allows for people to have debates and theories and allegiances to different characters, to trust characters and hate other characters, but it doesn't tell you who is good or bad or right or wrong. That's the most exciting storytelling, in my book. There's no family in America that can celebrate a victory better than the Harbaughs. You'll never hear more laughter, more storytelling, or more embellishment. But I think we're also just talking about the literacy of the audience, the visual literacy of the audience. They've seen so many images now, especially here in the States. There's so much to look at, to watch. So the visual storytelling literacy is harder to impress. You're never going to kill storytelling, because it's built into the human plan. We come with it. Rap is rhythm and poetry. Hip-hop is storytelling and poetry as well. Everybody in my family were great storytellers. My dad and his brothers would just go on and on. They could tell amazing stories. I think it was something to do with the Celtic, oral storytelling tradition. People very much had that propensity towards telling tales. I wanted to be a writer as a teen, so storytelling was my first love. In my late teens, design became an obsession as I realized that I could express myself through the medium. Much later, when I founded Fuse Project in 1999, our slogan became "Design brings stories to life." All autobiography is storytelling, all writing is autobiography. Storytelling is the game. It's what we all do. It's why Nike is Nike, it's why Apple is Apple, it's why Walt Disney built Disney World, and it's why Vince McMahon makes $1 billion. One of the reasons why I think virtual reality, as a narrative format, is never going to go beyond the short-form immersion space is because the bedrock of visual storytelling is the reverse angle. If you can't look into the eyes of the protagonist, you cannot hold people's attention for more than 15 minutes. I'm actually quite critical of the storytelling theme. I think all the storytellers are not storytellers. Storytelling is about two things, it's about character and plot. I consider music to be storytelling, melody, and rhythm. A lot of hip-hop has broken music down. There are no instruments and no songwriting, so you're left with just storytelling and rhythm. And the storytelling can be so braggadocious, you're just left with rhythm. The most important thing is, how can I move forward towards something that I can't articulate, that is new in storytelling with moving images and sound? We're really building, at the highest level, the future of entertainment. And we're involved in the convergence of social communication and storytelling, and we're doing it in immersive, 3D, social environment. We're so complex, we're mysteries to ourselves, we're difficult to each other. And then storytelling reminds us we're all the same. We are the storytelling animal. Storytelling is the most powerful way to put ideas into the world today. Well, if storytelling is important, then your narrative ability, or your ability to put into words or use what someone else has put into words effectively, is important too. Storytelling, mythology, and film provide a lot of hope, but, on the flip side, can also create delusion. Fear is a kind of unintentional storytelling that we are all born knowing how to do. I think, in storytelling, people want to see triumph, and so it's usually nice to start with failure and see someone somehow rise above it. People like to see people try. And they like to see people fail for comedy, and they like to see people succeed for the drama and emotion. If you judge everything by how photographically real it looks, then you're missing out on a lot of what art is about and what communication is. There are ambiguities in life, and that should be reflected in art, cinema, and storytelling, I think. So I like to try to go back and develop pure visual storytelling, because to me, it's one of the most exciting aspects of making movies and almost a lost art at this point. When I think of artists I love, like J. Cole, it's the storytelling that grabs me. I want to be honest with my music. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.